Merhaba arkadaşlar, ben Kuars ve başka bir videoya hoş geldiniz. You know, I don't really talk about it much, but I gotta be like one of, if not the most unlucky motherfucker on this planet. That, or I live in the unluckiest family line ever. And today, I'm gonna talk about how my family and me were unlucky for like multiple times in a row. And how the first time we were unlucky, we almost died. That's not a joke. You'll see how. Now, for the longest time, we had planned to go out on vacation on this 27th of July, specifically, right? And how we would do it is to split the trip up into two trips, two 5-hour trips in specific. Since the place we were going to was kind of far from where we lived, it was gonna take 10 hours if we did it in one trip. So my mom thought it would be ideal if we drove 5 hours to a halfway point, find a hotel there, sleep for the night, and then go another 5 hours the next day. So when the day came, we were really excited, and we finally went on the trip, right? We got in the car, started that motherfucker up, and we got in the highway. Now, about 15 minutes or so in, I really had to shit, right? Like, bad shit. So I told my mom and dad this, and, you know, the traffic was really shitty that day, so we really had to go a long way before we could get to a place where I could, you know, do my business. And about 15 minutes or so later, we finally stopped at a place where I could deliver the children, as I'm gonna say. And as fast as I could, I went inside that building, and I found the nearest toilet, and oh, mystical shit I had in there. Let me tell you, Dad, it really felt like I lifted some weight off my shoulders, or my stomach, if you know what I mean. Anyway, after I was done with my business, I got out the building, and I got in the car, and steadily we got ready to take on the trip again. Anyway, as we're driving out the parking lot, my sister and my mom start hearing a weird noise. It was like, I can't really describe it, but I can sound it out for you. It was like a kind of noise, if you know what I mean. Now, initially, I thought nothing of this. I thought this was just a random noise that the car decided to make at a random time. So, yeah, I wasn't really like scared or anything. Anyway, my dad went out to investigate, and after his investigation, he found literally nothing. Everything seemed fine with the car, so he just got back in and started driving. But my mom and sister were still kind of on edge, so he decided to drive slowly. Also, we were driving on the right lane of the highway, so if anything bad happened, we could just pull over. Anyway, after a bit of slow driving, my dad decided to kinda slowly go faster a little bit. And while he's doing that, out of nowhere, we heard a noise, like a loud bang noise, and then the car like tilted to the right, and then on our right we see a fucking wheel. Our car's wheel literally rolling on the side of us. Now at that moment, my sister and my mom were fucking panicking, man. They were screaming like, holy shit, the car wheel just got out. Like, it was a crazy moment. Anyway, thankfully, my dad was able to stay calm, and since we were on the right lane of the highway, we could easily pull over. And thank God for that. And I just want to add, the craziest thing is, there are so many universes and possibilities where we would have died. Where we genuinely would have died that day. Just because I had to shit, we were going slow. And just because we were on the right lane of the highway, nothing bad happened to us, nor the other cars on the highway. So genuinely, I am so thankful. I am so thankful that we got out of that in the best way we could. Anyway, after we successfully pulled over, after my dad successfully pulled over, thank you, Dad, we all got out the car and looked at the damage, and yeah, the wheel was just literally off. And when we looked at, you know, where the wheel is supposed to be, you know, like the little disc where you put the wheel in? I don't know if that made any sense. If I find like a picture of it, I'll put it in the video right now. But you know that like little disc? It was literally like broken. Like, I don't even know how the fuck that happens, but it was just broken. So, yeah, that explains how the wheel came off. But now, what were we gonna do? We were just in the middle of the highway. I mean, we were kind of close to home, I guess, but you know, our car wasn't working, so we couldn't just drive back home. Anyway, after a few minutes, a guy driving a tow truck actually pulled over and offered to help us. And I mean, obviously we accepted. And after a few minutes, my dad actually called out my uncle so he could drive us back home while he went with the tow truck guy to actually get the car fixed. Now, he asked my uncle to drive us back home because he suspected that the repairs for the car would take more than a day. So his plan was to just go back home for the day and just do it all in one trip tomorrow. And to be honest, I was fine with that plan, you know. I'm not gonna lie and say I wasn't, but my sister was actually really stressed out because she was wondering if we could even go to the vacation. And my mom said, "Oh, don't worry, we'll just go out tomorrow." And my sister was like, "Oh yeah, that's true." Anyway, as proof that this actually happened, here's a selfie that I took while this was happening. Yup, that is an actual selfie of me in front of our car. Oh, and you can even see like the disc thing I was talking about before. You can't really see the fact that it was broken in this picture, but you know, you get what I'm saying. Anyway, after that, my uncle arrived with his car and we went back home. Defeated. Now, we also later found out the repair of the car only took about an hour. So realistically, we could have actually went with my dad, you know, got the car repaired and continued with our journey. But oh well, the damage was already done, we were already home, and we were already chilling. So, you might ask, what did I do? Was I really stressed out and just pondering about my day? I don't know, maybe talking to my mom and sister about it? Nah. No, actually, I played Call of Duty World at War all day. Anyway, the next day around 4 a.m., my dad woke up and just suddenly decided, alright, we're gonna go now. And fun fact, at the time, I was still just awake. I was still playing World at War at the time. I didn't even sleep. But yeah, anyway, so we woke everyone up, we got on the trip, and guess what? Nothing happened. This one was successful. Thankfully, luck was on our side for this one. Thank God it was. And in terms of our vacation, it was really fun. It was a really cool time. And I even have a story from that. But that's for another video. Anyway, we stayed there for about a week, and then we got on the trip again. The trip back home. Now, for the first 5-6 hours of the trip, there was really nothing wrong. Nothing wrong happened. We were just going on our merry way. And then we suddenly realized, oh shit, we are really fucking hungry. And for some reason, there weren't any food places for miles. Miles, I tell you. We did not come across any place that had any food whatsoever for 2 to 3 hours. But while we were searching for some place to eat, we started hearing a noise. A very familiar noise. A noise that sounded like and guess what? We pulled over once again. And when we went out, we realized, hey, one of our tires are flat. We got a flat tire. And do you want to know? Do you want to guess which tire it was? That's right. If you guessed the back right tire, then you are entirely correct. It was the back right tire. Anyway, thank the stars, my dad actually had a spare tire in his trunk. But the catch is, this tire actually had a limit of 80 kilometers per hour, which is about 50 miles per hour, I think. Now you might ask me, Kuars, how the fuck does a tire have a speed limit? I don't know. It literally had text on top of it with a sticker that said 80 kilometers per hour or 50 miles per hour. And if you've ever been on the highway, you know that speed is fucking pitiful. No one goes 80 kilometers per hour. Anyway, we just accepted that we were just gonna be slow for a while before we found another repair shop. Thankfully though, on the way, we did stumble across some place that had somewhere to eat. And it was a little place called Tavuk Dünyası. If you've ever been to Turkey, or if you ever plan on going to Turkey, I recommend Tavuk Dünyası dearly. They make banger food. But yeah, we stopped on the road, ate some Tavuk Dünyası, and we got back on the road. And my sister actually looked up at repair shops on Google Maps, and we had to go off the highway to actually get there. So here we go on a side mission to actually get this tire fixed and go the fuck home. And let me tell you, man, finding a fucking repair shop, it was like finding a needle in a haystack. For fuck's sake, we were asking everyone we saw on the road, hey, do you know where a repair shop is? And we slowly got clues as to where a repair shop could be. It's a fucking It's a game. It's like Skyrim or something. I don't fucking know. Anyway, after we finally found the repair shop, the guy at the repair shop told us that the tire was pretty much long gone. We couldn't use that anymore, so we just had to buy a new one. Anyway, that took another like 2 hours or so. Okay, maybe not 2 hours, but like definitely an hour. It definitely took an hour. Anyway, after all that, we were fucking exhausted, right? This tire has cost us so much more than it needed to. Thankfully, however, nothing else happened on the trip back home. Thank the fucking stars. Anyway, that's not where the story ends, by the way. A couple days after we got back from vacation, my mom actually knocked on my door, and when I opened it, she was like, "Yo, you would not believe what happened." I was like, "What?" "So your dad was on the road, and a nail got stuck in one of the tires, and, you know, deflated it." And I was like, "No." And she was like, "Yup." It was the back right tire, wasn't it? It was the back right tire. I was like, "Oh my fucking god, that tire is fucking cursed." Like, and she was like, "Yeah, on God." Anyway, thankfully that fucking tire has not cost us any more trouble since. And since then, we've been looking at options to buy a new car, because I think we need it at this point. Like, our car isn't even that old. It's a 2016 model. But god fucking damn it, man. So many shit has happened to this car that I feel like we should get rid of it at this point. Anyway, that was it. Nothing more happened. And thank the stars. And this video was so long that I had to use 2 pieces of fucking footage so I could actually, you know, make it fit. By the way, I also stream on my second channel, Kuars TV. So if you want to see me live, be sure to, you know, check that out. And anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Hold up, wait a minute, all good just a week ago. Crew at my house, and we party every weekend. So on the radio, that's my favorite song. Make me bounce around like I don't know, like I won't be here long.